Namaste, welcome. So this practice is all about getting back to routine, honoring the wholeness of your health. So the practice that I'm going to offer you today does require a little bit of prop support. So you will need a couple of blankets or maybe a pillow. And if you do have a bolster, a yoga bolster at home, that could also be of assistance here. But simplest, for those of us that don't have yoga props at home, we can grab a couple of blankets and use these. So the first blanket we'll use to create a little prop up under the seats, so something that's just high enough to give you a little bit more lift through the pelvis and more ease in the forward fold. So it doesn't have to be super high. And then the second blanket you can actually roll up so that it's assuming a shape of a little bolster, and this one will go underneath your knees. So we have the knees supported, and if you need more height under either of these areas, you can always add a bigger blanket, more blankets, pillows, whatever you need. It's also nice to just move the gluteus muscles out of the way a little bit so that you have more of that ability to fold forward. Okay, so we're gonna take the feet about hip distance apart. You could go a little bit wider than that if your blanket allows. And then just let yourself fold over top of your legs. So we are coming into more of a passive experience. So again, we are tapping into parasympathetic nervous system, that state of rest and digest, so that we can begin to unwind some of the tension that builds up during busier times, through times of uncertainty, times of stress. And what I encourage you to do is allow as much weight to just drop downwards as possible. So the pelvis is heavy, the feet are heavy, even allowing the legs to turn out a little bit if that's more natural for your body. And then the head and the shoulders are curling forward. And consciously relax through your face so your forehead is nice and wide. The mouth might even hang open slightly. Eyelids heavy and closed. And the best tool that we have, the absolute best tool that we have in shifting our physiology. So if we want to shift from a very high, energetic, even stressed state into something a little bit more quiet and calm, we use the tool of the breath. And this is the fastest way, the most efficient way, and a natural way at shifting our physiology, shifting our inner experience. So as you're holding this forward fold, let your awareness start at the tip of your tailbone. And as you inhale, draw your breath all the way up your spine. And as you exhale, let the breath fall all the way back down. And watch that movement. Like an elevator, the breath rises up the spine and all the way back down as you exhale. Let's add a little count to that breath. So as you breathe in up your spine, count 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a couple more breaths. And then slowly begin to rise yourself out of this pose. And as you come up, just take a quiet moment and notice how you feel. Keeping the awareness on your internal environment, body, breath, mind. I'm going to shift around to the belly. So you can remove the blanket that's underneath your knees and just set it about halfway up on the side of your mat. And you'll do the same thing with the other blanket. You can just take that and have it on the opposite side of your mat. We will then lay down onto the front and then bend the left knee and place the inner knee on the blanket. Now, if you feel like you need a little bit more support for the front of your pelvis, you could use the other blanket that's on the right and have it across the front of your pelvis. You have something a little bit cushiony to lay on. And if that feels comfortable as is, you can come down onto your belly, hands can stack, and you can rest either one cheek onto your hands or onto the floor if that's comfortable, or forehead down. There's no effort from you physically at all. Complete and total relaxation. However, mentally, the effort is soft, yet focused on the movement of breath. Now here we'll try another technique of breathing or counting with the breath to help to induce more of a calm state, mind, nervous system. So as you breathe in your mind, say the number 10. And as you breathe out, give it the number 9. Inhale to 8. Exhale to 7. Inhale 6. Exhale 5. Inhale 4. Exhale 3. Inhale 2. And exhale 1. Repeat that countdown from 10 2 more times. We're going to slowly transition to the opposite side. The left leg can come off the blanket and go long, and the right knee will bend. Now, if you did use a blanket under your pelvis, you can just move the blanket that was on the left, take it over to the right, settle your forehead or your cheek down, and again, allow the weight of your body to drop earthward. So anytime we have a posture where we're connecting a lot of the surface of the body with the ground, we can get more of that sense of earthing, groundedness, supportedness. So let yourself be supported here. You've done enough work for the day. Now this is your opportunity to receive. Doing your best to stay in present moment awareness. And we'll once again count down from 10 to 1, 3 times. Inhale for 10. Exhale for 9. Inhale 8. Exhale 7. Inhale 6. Exhale 5. Inhale 4. Exhale 3. Inhale 2. Exhale 1. Repeating 2 more rounds, 10 to 1. When you have completed those rounds of counted breath, take the right leg back. You can pause at center, neutral, for a breath. And then bring your hands on either side of your chest and lift yourself up into a tabletop position, and we're going to set up one more pose, coming into a supported child's pose. Now, we can again use the blankets here for a little bit more cushion so that perhaps we can drop in more easily. So you could go blanket under the knees. This feels usually pretty nice. Now the second blanket could be used in a couple of ways. You could bring it between your hips and your heels so that you have just a little bit more lift there, less pressure on the knees. So this is one option. You could also place a rolled up towel or blanket underneath the ankles if you find sometimes that's too much pressure on your ankles. So you could bring that blanket down to the floor and rest your forehead down there. So play with that a little bit and find the position that feels the most supportive to you. And then let yourself settle in. Again, we want to take some time to try to relax. We're just letting the weight of the body drop. While we're holding this pose, we'll practice one more breathing technique where we give a little bit more attention to the exhale breath, the exhale carrying us more into that parasympathetic response of the nervous system. Okay, let's start here by taking a deep inhale through the nose and a full release out of the mouth. And then we'll inhale for 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 2. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And repeat that a few more times, maybe 6 to 8 more rounds. Take your time, and maybe you want to stay there a little bit longer if that feels comfortable, where you can start to rise yourself back up. And again, just take a pause in a still space and notice how you feel on all levels. As we shift into fall and back into the routines of our life, whatever that looks like, just remember that taking the time to support your well-being physically, mentally, emotionally is so important. And what we can see from this practice is that we only need 5 minutes in a day. So take those 5 minutes for yourself and give yourself a little reprieve from the chaos that life can sometimes be. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.